What's up everyone, Kris Gethin here. Today we're going to go through 6 back exercises that you probably haven't done before but are very, very effective. I'll talk you through each one of these exercises, and the first one that we're going to do to target our traps is a banded bent over row. The reason why we're doing that is because at the bottom of the movement is that where you usually get a lot of tension. However, you never really get to truly decompress your subscapular. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to really work on that contraction. The further you come back on that band, the resistance is going to increase. Obviously, when you have bands on there, you're not going to use the amount of weight that you'd usually use on this exercise. So it's very efficient and effective for your traps without putting too much stress on your lower back or your lumbar. That hit the spot. Alright, with this exercise, I found that I was targeting my lats quite a bit to begin with. Oh, head rush. And so then on the second and third set and fourth set, I went a little bit wider with my grip so I could really target the contraction of the traps at the top. But of course, you're always going to get lat and trap crossover. But so you may want to play around with your grip, the width of your grip, in order to really target your traps there. So what we're doing now is a kabuchi bar row, but you can mimic this with like a pinch bar using an easy bar, putting a couple of plates on the end and holding onto the plates and rowing. Or you can have a hexagon bar and do the same. If you don't have any of those, you can grab a couple of dumbbells but go with a wide grip and pull out. Well, you're not using your trap so much, you're pointing your elbows back now to really target your lats a little bit more. Before we were wider, trapped, now we're a little bit narrower with the elbows pointing back and we're targeting the lats. Trying to knock out a few sets here of around 10 to 12 repetitions, slowly on the negative, about two second count on a negative, and explosive on the way back up, making sure that your back is flat. If you round it at all, you're not going to be able to fire or contract your lats adequately. So you've got to keep it flat, slightly arced, don't over arc it, and just make sure that you get that contraction at the top. If you're not able to contract to the top, a lot of people row like this. And if I ask them to hold it at the top and they can't, that means that they've used assisting muscles to get the weight up, i.e. their biceps, i.e. their lower back using momentum. So you want to make sure that you're able to contract at the top, otherwise it's too fucking heavy. This is an absolute phenomenal exercise. You'll really feel this in your lats. Get a good stretch at the top there. You don't have to straighten your arms because that's going to put a lot of tension onto your bicep tendon. You don't want that. You want it all on your lats. So you get a good stretch here and you'll get a full range of motion and contraction as you come back up, as you're at a bit of a right angle. We're using a plate here so I can get a bit of a stretch, because otherwise you'll hit the stack, and it's very important that you get a full stretch and a full contraction on this movement. You don't have to go heavy. You want to get that mind muscle connection on this, and with that reverse grip you really will feel it in the lats. All right, the next movement we're doing is a lat pull down, except it's an incline lat pull down, meaning that our chest is supported on an incline machine. So we're going to be angled as if we're doing a normal pull down, except you're not going to use any momentum whatsoever from your lower back. You're going to allow the entirety of your weight support itself on the bench, and that way you're not going to be able to go as heavy as you usually would because you're isolating the lats. We've worked on the thickness of the lats, now we're targeting that V-taper to get the width of it, and this is a great way to do it without having to use any momentum whatsoever. It really isolates that area. That is friggin' phenomenal. I'm going to say that about every exercise today, and well, I feel that runs perfectly in the direction of the muscle fibers of the upper traps. You're able to get such a good contraction there because you're pulling from the outsides. So that contraction at the top really does target the top portion of the traps as it inserts in towards the neck. You know, you pause at the top for a second and then slowly down and straight back up. No pausing at the bottom because you don't want to allow the traps to disengage here. So I'm knocking out, we got the stack here, we can't go any heavier. So we're doing about at least 20 reps. And I don't like to do any less than 20 reps on shrugs anyway, because I feel it just compresses my spine too much. And it seems to respond. So forget about the weights, just think about failure, because that's where you're going to find success. All right, so the last exercise that we did here is a seal row. That you'll notice as I was coming up, I'm bringing my chest off the pad a little bit. I find that I'm able to get a better contraction and fire the muscle fibers a little bit more doing that. You will get your traps on here. You will get a little bit of the lat as you pull up. But this is probably our heaviest exercise, and we're trying to knock out about 10 to 12 repetitions here. Explosive on the way up. Slow on the negative, and when we can't get any more out, we just do some partials at the very end here, just to get every last ounce out of this. But anyway, guys, if you do like this video, hopefully you would have found some of these exercises very unique, but very efficient and effective for you. If you have any questions, please ask them below. If you would like to see more videos like this, or if you have any feedback, please put it below as well, and subscribe. Peace.